Is a lightsaber a toy? Now, I got to thinking about this because recently I got one of the T-shirts from Ultrasabers with their slogan, Ultrasabers, anything else is just a toy. And I thought to myself, well, I understand they're probably talking about how the Ultrasabers lightsaber, it's made out of metal, it's substantial, you can duel with it, it's not just like one of those cheap plastic Hasbro lightsabers. I'm guessing that's what they're getting at with it, but at the same time, what makes something not a toy then? What makes Ultrasabers, according to Ultrasabers, not just a toy? And so the first step in this process I thought I needed to do was look up the actual definition. I mean, we all kind of have a definition in our head. Our main definition is probably something to do with toys are what kids play with, right? That would be my definition, but the dictionary.com relevant definitions, there's actually a lot of definitions for toy. So the first relevant definition is an object for children or others to play with. That's kind of maybe the first that would come to mind. And the second relevant definition on dictionary.com is something that serves for or as if for a diversion rather than for serious practical use. So in a nutshell, the first definition is toy is something that kids play with, or it does say for others. And the second definition is it's an object that serves for some kind of diversion and isn't really practical in any way. And so if you look at lightsabers, even ultrasabers like these, according to those definitions, I think we'd have to say they are a toy, even though an adult is using them. And both of the definitions that I read do accommodate adults. So who's to say just because you're an adult you can't play with toys just like kids? And that's I kind of think what an Ultrasabers lightsaber is, or any of the other sabers. Even if you're in a saber dueling club, a lightsaber dueling club, or even if you kind of learn some lightsaber forms, I'd say that's still kind of a form of play. Now, one of the flip sides to that, or maybe the arguments against it being for play, is that the lightsaber dueling clubs and the forms and styles, a lot of that is very similar or derived from martial arts, and martial arts are a serious study, and you wouldn't say that someone using a martial arts weapon is using a toy, right? So in that same sense, is somebody who's studying lightsaber combat, are they really just swinging around a toy? Maybe not. So there would be an argument against these being a toy. I know another way that people will look at these not being a toy are just that they are metal. That makes them kind of more serious. And if somebody creates one of these from scratch, that's actually a pretty intricate endeavor, and it involves wiring and electronics and maybe even a lathe if you're really serious. So in that sense, at least the construction of a lightsaber could be more of a form of craftsmanship, or you'd maybe consider it more of a hobby. But again, that's the process of making the lightsaber. So once you have the finished lightsaber, is it a toy? Well, I'd still say yes. One of the other arguments, I like to keep going back and forth, I like to be my own devil's advocate. I suppose one of the other arguments against these being a toy is calling them a collector's item or a display piece, something that you're going to put on your bookshelf and display for others. If you made it yourself, it's arguably even possibly an art form, because that's kind of back to my whole craftsmanship discussion, that It's something you've made with your own hands, and it reflects your personality. Therefore, it's sort of a piece of art created by you. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on that. A little rambling. I'd love to hear your take on it. Do you think that a lightsaber is a toy? Or when do you think a lightsaber is a toy? Now, a lot of people would agree that the Hasbro plastic ones, or maybe the Disney build-your-own lightsaber kits at the Disney stores, or like Disneyland, Disney World, you might say those are toys. Now, are the Hasbro FX lightsaber, Force FX lightsabers, are those toys? Or at what point does a lightsaber not become a toy, if you do think that some lightsabers are not toys? I'd love to hear about it. Anyway, that's it for now.